No praise, honor, glory to Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, RACHAKWADASH. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. And a sincere shalom to the Akim that's out there pushing the sincerity and the truth and the sound doctrine. This is going to be a sort of a quick video. Right now, as everybody know, Passover is next week. All right, it's next week. So I'm doing this video because of pretty much what I used to see. You know what I mean? And I'm sure there are some Jake out there that still does it. Because like I said yesterday, nobody, including camps, go through a unique situation. All right, when it comes to Jake in the camp. Don't wait until a high holy day comes around, and all of a sudden you want to be extra spiritual. Yeah, right. You want to be extra charitable all of a sudden. You want to be extra on fire. You know what I mean? It's almost like you're a different person all of a sudden. Don't wait until that, man. All right, because now you're just being fake. And we used to see this personally within this camp. We used to. All right. Somebody will call and say, yeah, man, let's say it's what are some of the high holy days? Let's say the blowing of the trumpets. Let's say that. Let's say the blowing of the trumpets, or a better one, right? Not better, but a more prominent one. Let's say the Day of Atonement. All right, is like a week away, right? Let's just say that, and these individuals will call and say, yeah, man, I know, the Day of Atonement is coming around. I know it's a high holy day, man. I just want to, atone and, let bygones be bygones and stuff like that. And it's just like, in my mind, I'm like, bro, you don't need me. You don't need to tell me what day is around the corner. All right. You don't need to tell me that. All right. You don't need to remind me of that. I'm not in fear, or not. I am in fear, but I'm not scared or like you, because I know that I've, through the Spirit of the Lord, YAHAWASHI, to the very best of my ability, I've been doing what I'm supposed to do. Right. So you don't need to tell me that. And that's what we had to tell these jakes, man. You don't need to tell me that. You know what I mean? Why are you not thinking about this before the high holy days come around? So that's my point, man. Don't wait until this. See, this is what people in the world do. They see a big event happen, like the COVID. COVID hits and everybody's spiritual all of a sudden. Everybody's extra spiritual all of a sudden. This is like you never read a spiritual thing in a day of your life, man. A day of your life. And all of a sudden, you so spiritual all of a sudden. You know what I mean? No. That don't go here, man. And the Lord sees that. All right. So, like I said, real quick video, or as quick as it will be. 2 Timothy chapter 4, verse 2. Preach the word, be instant, in season, out of season, reprove, rebuke, exhort with all long suffering. So I'm getting this scripture because that's a self-explanatory scripture, really. Being instant, in season, out of season, being always. But I want to get this word season. All right. They're two same definitions, but not the same. All right. So when you see in season and out of season, like I said, they are pretty much the same situation. I mean, same definition. All right. And the Greek is kairos. All right. And this one is eukairos, because it's talking about in season. So it says seasonably, opportunely. All right. When the opportunity occurs. So that's in season. All right. This is why we like going into words, because these words, they show you a whole new meaning of what this is talking about. All right. So this is in season. Right. Now you could go into the root word, and it's seasonable, timely, opportune. Now we go into this one. Now it's just called. Now it's just kairos, and here we go. It says, do measure a measure of time, a larger or smaller portion of time, hence a fixed and indefinite time. The time, okay, so we see when the time things are brought to crisis, the decisive, uh, okay, yep, it says opportune or seasonable time, the right time, right? So you get the point. So this is eukairos, so in season, meaning measure, timely, opportunity. So it says be instant in the season and what? Now let's go back. Let's go back here. Out of season. Now this is akaros. All right. This is akaros. All right. Unseasonable. Right. So in season, out of season. When the opportunity shows itself, or even when the opportunity doesn't show itself, be instant, in season, out of season. You have to, this is all the time. This is all the time, man. All right. Let's go to the root. Okay. I think this is akaromai. Akaromai. And like I said, this is Greek. Lack, to lack opportunity. There we go. And it all is going to go back. It says from a compound of, that G1 is a negative particle, right? Lacking, right? Going into this, kairos. Now it's back to the same word. All right. So preach the word, be instant, in season, out of season. When the opportunity is there, yeah. How holy days, Sabbaths, Passovers, days of atonement, blowing of the trumpets, the Purim, and etc. Right? But out of season as well. So when there are no high holy days in sight, pretty much, you know what I mean? That has always annoyed me, and I'm sure I'm not obviously I'm not the only one. I'm just one of many. I'm nothing, right? I'm just one of many brothers that annoys, right? What happens is, the Lord starts exposing it. He starts exposing who Jake really is when he come into this thing, man. If you one of them people that wait until a how holy day to sit up there and say, yeah, I want to purge my sins, I want to do this, I want to do that. Am I saying that these high holy days aren't significant? No. And am I saying that these things don't change your attitude to a certain degree? I'm not saying that, because these things are meant to be taken very, very seriously. I'm not saying that they aren't going to change, your attitude to a certain degree. But to completely sit up there and say, yeah, man, I know the Passover is coming around, man. I know the how holy days get ready to come around, man. I just want to, do this, that, and the other. It's like you just now waiting. That's the exact problem. That's one of the problems that's wrong with the world. All right. You have Valentine's Day, even though it's all BS, but I'm just looking at it on another perspective. You have Valentine's Day, Father's Day, Mother's Day. Why are we waiting one day, right? Christmas. Why are we waiting one day to show love and affection to each other? Shouldn't that be all the time? I don't need a Father's Day to say, hey, Abba, I love you. Because Abba is father in he is father in Hebrew. Hey, father, I love you. Hey, Abba, I love you. Or mother, Amma. That's where they get ma from, by the way. If you know, right? Amma is mother. Hey, Amma, I love you. Something. Your spouse. You know what I mean? That's what's wrong with the world right now, man. Or one of the things that's wrong with the world right now is everybody just waits one day to do something, man. You know what I mean? They wait one day. Oh, this is because they out of work and stuff like that. But, to gather around and, you know what I mean? We don't need all that. Right? And the Lord, it will expose that. That's one of the things that you ought to be afraid of right around Passover time, since you want to look at it like that. You got to look at, man, have I really been, charitable like I should have been? And I'm not just talking about with money. I can be charitable and not give you a cent, because that's why one of the things that say charity covers a multitude of sin. That don't just mean money. All right, I could be a wicked 2/3 Jake, man, and sit up there and give you $10,000 out of spite or out of whatever, man. I can be a wicked person to do that. They give money from anywhere, man. Hell, Esau gives us money, our paychecks. I don't need. You don't need that just to show some charity. Now, out of the care and out of the actions, if you do that, then yeah, that's charity. But it has to be spiritual. It has to be sincere. But there are other ways of showing charity by doing videos like this, warning and edifying. If you see your brother falling, hey man, pick him up. That's so many ways of showing charity, not just with money. All right, money can be used as a damn front, man. You know what I mean? Anyway, so we have here when the opportunity shows itself and when it doesn't, even when it doesn't. Be instant, in season, out of season. Yeah, opportune time and not opportune time, right? Always, always. It says reprove, rebuke, exhort with all long suffering, all right, and doctrine. So this doesn't end. This is not just something that you take a break from. You know what I mean? This is all the time. This is consistent. You imagine what would happen if the Lord said, "Hey, I know you prayed to me, but I'm gonna take a break. I'm gonna take a break. I'll, a few days, which a few days to the Lord is, well, that's we don't talk about that, but a few days according to our time, right? Let's just say that, right? He said, them demons are gonna overrun you. All right. So no, there are no breaks in this thing, man. Right? There is no waiting until a high holy day comes around and all of a sudden you want to be extra spiritual, extra brotherly, extra everything. Right? Because that's really demonic. You ask me. Right? So one more thing, just to show you this word in the Old Testament, because New Testament, as we see, is Greek. You see, this one here is one definition of season. This one is another one because it says thou season with salt. All right, and then you have this one, which is pretty much what it says in due season. This one is pretty much the same that we just read, the last scripture that we just read. All right, so let's get in due season. So you see, it's only a 2-letter word, man. Right? Time, usual event, of an event, usual experiences, fortunes. All right, occasion, occurrence. So that's where you could get pretty much this one, link this one, this definition. See, and you wouldn't have known that season, which we do know season has about, I want to say, the most 4 definitions. You have season like this one, and the other one that we just read. We have season as in like, season salt. Then you have season, which like the seasons, the day, like winter, spring, summer, fall. You know what I mean? So that's like what, 3 or 4 different definitions right there. So that's the problem with English. You have to look into words. If you want a better understanding of the scriptures, you must look into the words. You can't just read them. You just can't read the Bible and think you have the full understanding, because you don't. If you're just reading it and not looking at words, you're lost. Okay? So if we see here, let's play this out.
Strong's H6256. Eighth.
Right. So it says eighth, but really this is known as eighth. All right. And I don't know why it popped up. This is known as ith. All right, you see, you read from right to left when it comes to Hebrew, but these two is known as ith. So this is more than likely season. All right. This here. Okay. So pretty much the same thing. Just going into the root words. All right. Anyway, that's pretty much all I got on this. Giving all praise, honor, glory to YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, Shalom.